And we're going to go ahead, we're back in the prime position, and we're going to turn up the pressure again, and we're going to chase the water out with paint. Just enough to get the paint or the water out of the system. Here's a huge step right here that most contractors fail to do. They don't prime long enough, okay? So we're gonna go in and we're gonna set this just like this, and we're gonna watch that prime come out of that, back into the pail. "20 seconds, because this is building pressure and maintaining pressure. Now watch when I go into the spray position. Listen to how quickly the pump goes ahead and recovers. That's what you want to hear. You don't want it to wind on and on and on, because now you've got air in the system, and that's going to go ahead and affect your fan pattern. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to use some of this throat seal liquid. Every day, first thing in the morning, when you get your sprayer up and running, you put the throat seal liquid right here on the piston. And you just aim it in there and give it a good squirt. Okay? Can anybody tell me what the rule or the job of throat seal liquid is? Anybody?
Lubrication.
There's lubrication. That's one part of it. Its primary part is to make sure that paint does not dry on that piston rod, because that piston rod is going through a number of O-rings. And the O-rings are polyethylene, heavy grade plastic, and leather. And that's what balances the pressure between the up and the down stroke of the piston. So you can sit there with that gun wide open and have a nice consistent fan pattern, okay? If you've got paint that's on that rod and it's going through those O-rings, very tight tolerances, what do you think that dry paint's gonna do to those O-rings?
Eat them up.
It's gonna eat it up just like sandpaper. It's gonna score them. The throat seal liquid keeps the paint from drying on the rod, thus your packings are not gonna wear prematurely. So all you need, how long did it take me to put that throat seal liquid on? It took me 4 times longer to go ahead and explain its purpose. And how many contractors do not do it? And they're constantly harping on you folks, my piece of equipment's down again. You know, why is my equipment not working? Well, you're not utilizing best practices. I'll tell you what, you would have, I've done training at union halls, and I'll ask, what is throat seal liquid? And know what I get? Blank stares. Contractors, some of them are apprentices that have been in the business for years, have never seen it, have never used it. And they wonder why equipment keeps going down. You gotta follow these best practices, okay? It's very, very important. All right, now, seeing the fact that we already have the paint in the lines, we're gonna use the paint to chase out the water. So what we'll do here now is, let's go right into here and right into that slop there. Alrighty. So now, here is the safety on the gun. Okay. For those of you that aren't aware, okay, this gun right here, very, very easy trigger pull. It's not going to tax your arm. It's not going to go ahead and cause fatigue in your wrist. If you don't like the 2-finger setup, open this little nut back here and make it a 3-finger gun or a 4-finger gun. You're able to make that adjustment on the fly. Especially if you start to, after hours and hours and hours, your fingers start cramping up, you can go ahead and adjust that. so it goes ahead and it gives you a little bit more ergonomic. But we'll start at 2 because that's what most contractors prefer, is the 2-finger trigger. Now we'll go ahead and we'll put on our tip and base, but you notice, always on safety. We don't want anybody getting hurt. And what we're going to do here now is we're going to put the guard on to the swivel. Notice I do not have my fingers inside the blue guard, and I don't need a wrench to tighten the tip and base onto the gun or onto the wand. Okay, let's go ahead now and we're going to test our pressure to see if we've got enough pressure. So I'll start over here right in this middle portion of the building. Let's see what we got going here. We want to be about 12 inches from the surface. Okay? Okay, this may be a little bit awkward at first for some of you because of the tip extension and the swivel, but our goal is so we don't have to get up on ladders. That's why we use tip extensions. We want to maintain 12 inches from the surface. We want to be centered on our work. Trigger on, trigger off. We've got the right amount of pressure, okay, and we've got the perfect tip for this product. You ready? Watch how I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to say centered on the work. I trigger on, trigger off. 50% overlap. Spraying is 4 times faster than brushing, 2 times faster than rolling. Okay, you ready for this one? What do we have here? Super paint. On your label, it's going to say 2-coat application in order to get your warranty covered. That's only if you're brushing or rolling. There's no way you can put enough paint on with a brush or a roller, enough millage in order to get your full warranty. But if you're spraying with the right tip, you can. This is a one-shot deal, okay? So, you're going to be covering your warranty base. You're putting enough material on. Exterior house paint, ladies and gentlemen, is a protective coating. So you've got to get the right millage on. And we're going to check our millage here in just a second. Let me go ahead a little bit farther and we'll check our millage. Because we've got on here a 17 thousandths tip, which is ideal for super paint.
You don't have to spray that soffit, Dave.
No? Okay.
You just got to go up to that trim board.
It doesn't need paint anymore. We got shields over here too. Can you?
Anybody notice the fact I don't have any red paint all over me? How many of your contractors come into your store wearing the raccoon look? You know what the problem is? They think they're going to go faster if they crank the pressure up. The least amount of pressure that gives you a good fan pattern. You do not need to go ahead and turn that pressure up full blast. If you want to go faster and you want to move the gun faster, you don't turn up the pressure. Pressure is not a variable in production speed. It's just atomizing. You want to go faster? Put a larger tip on the gun. It allows you to move the gun faster. That's your flow rate, not your pressure. When you use excessive pressure, the paint's hitting the substrate, bouncing off all over you, clouds of overspray, waste. It's causing the tip to wear out prematurely, and the pump has to work harder than it has to. All negatives. Least amount of pressure that gives you a good fan pattern. last but not least, we're going to put the gun on safety. And I'm going to ask